It's time for us to get into a conversation on the nutrition segment. Now today on the nutrition segment, we're talking about Ghanaian grains. Of course, you know that we're just, getting into Heritage Month. Is just a couple of days away, and so we are prepping up for it. And so today on the nutrition segment, we've been joined by Esther Obigmensa of the Opulent Dietitian and also the co-founder of Zen Diet Consult. It's going to help us to understand a little more about Ghanaian grains, the value of the grains we have here in Ghana, and the different things we can do to spruce up our diet. Esther, good morning.
Good morning, Esther.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
So just talk about Ghanaian grains broadly. What are some of the grains that are the healthiest?
All right. Good morning to our cherished viewers. Yes, when it comes to grains, I think I would tackle grains and cereals. These names are used interchangeably. Yes, so the cereals are actually the plant, and then the seeds that are edible are the grains. So just clear that.
So
yes,
the cereals
I like
the
that.
plants.
The plant itself is a cereal.
the cereal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
then the seeds that are edible are the grains.
And the grains.
Okay.
Yes, so
like that.
let's get that right. So grains are different from the cereals.
Good.
All right, so when we say cornflakes, so cornflakes, cereal.
Cornflakes, it's a grain. That is, it's a product made from corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and corn
It's
is
been
a maize.
The corn as a grain has been
Yeah,
flicked.
has been flicked.
Yeah.
So actually the corn or the maize, so it's a processed corn
Oh, okay.
that has been flicked. And so it's a grain,
All right.
not a cereal. But we tend to say
Cereal.
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 Yeah, so basically these are foods that are rich in carbohydrates, basically. And we have a variety of them which are produced locally. We also have the ones that are produced internationally. But these grains, when we come, basically, most of them are underrated in terms of their nutritional value or the contents. Yes, so I think today's topic or discussion would go a long way to help a lot of people. So these grains are rich in carbohydrates. That's the main source. And then it follows with fiber.
Okay.
And this fiber helps with a lot of disease conditions because with this fiber, it helps to break down most of the nutrients, helps with digestion, helps with cardiovascular conditions. And these are some of this is the most important part of the grain that are stripped of, which when we come to processed carbohydrates or refined carbohydrates. So when it comes to the grains, you have the refined, you have the unrefined, you have the complex, and you have the simple. Yeah, so with the healthy one, that's why you all hear whole grain.
Yes,
the whole grain are the
Everything.
healthiest, has everything, yes.
Plus the fiber.
Exactly, exactly. So that is what we will focus on, not the refined, because we have a lot of grains out there that have been processed, where the nutritive parts have been taken out, which with that, we wouldn't advise people to go in there. But the locally produced ones are the whole grains. You see, in Ghana, we don't really process our grains. And so we get to have the nutritive content, we get to have the fiber, we get to have some minerals in there and some vitamins in there. So our locally produced grains are very rich in nutrients, and so it shouldn't be underrated.
Okay.
Right.
What let's look at it. Let's give us a bit of a range. So what kind of, when we say grains, my mind immediately goes to corn.
Exactly.
But what are some of the other grains that we have?
Yeah, so we have a lot of grains. We have maize or corn, we have wheat, we have millet, we have sorghum, we have rye, we have belly, we have oats. So a whole range of these grains are there. However, globally, maize...
Rice is also a grain, isn't it?
Yes, rice.
Okay,
rice is also a grain. But we have white rice and we have brown rice. So the white rice, the nutritive content have been stripped off. But the brown rice or even our local rice have not gone through that process where the nutritive content has been taken out. And so we encourage that we eat our local rice, even though it's white, but it has the fiber content in there.
Okay.
And so we encourage that we eat our locally produced rice compared to the refined ones or the perfumed ones that are coming in.
Yeah,
Yes.
but as a dietitian, you would realize that people normally prefer the refined rice.
Exactly.
Just because it comes from somewhere.
Yes.
Like, for me, like, I don't really like rice. I like brown rice, right?
That's great.
And I also like the local one.
Exactly.
But people look at me like,
Yeah.
why the local one though? You know?
Yeah.
But why do you think people actually prefer those ones? And like you were saying that ours have the better nutritional value than the other one, but I don't know. Like,
yes, I think it boils down to the affordability, the availability, and also the knowledge people have about it. We've come to meet the perfumed ones which are available in terms of accessibility. But when it comes to the locally produced one, very hard for you to come by, especially even the brown rice.
Yes.
Some people even would tell you they've not even set the eyes on the brown rice
before.
Yes, unless they go to
No,
the
I've
market.
heard those. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
those. I've heard those things before,
Yeah.
and to some extent, let's be fair. To some extent, I remember here at Citi, we did a campaign a couple of years ago to eat Ghana rice.
Ghana rice.
You know.
Exactly.
It was a huge campaign, and there was a whole drive. And at the point, everybody was going to the market to look for Ghana rice.
Exactly.
But somehow, the forces at play didn't catch on. You know, and so now people go. And there's no rice to find. So you go and ask once, twice, three times, you don't get Ghana rice. Like, you know what, whatever rice is there, just bring
give
them
me.
carry the
Yeah.
table, you know. So I think that's also part of the challenge.
Yeah, so that boils down to availability. So we need to make these healthy grains available. And usually they are produced in the northern parts of the country. That's where you get most of our grains, the millet
barley.
especially. Among all these grains, the most nutritive one is the millet. Because its fiber content is very high. Its protein content is also high. Sorghum is also another one.
Okay.
Which these cereals can, as we process corn, let's say
okay, so those are cereals.
Okay, the grains. I'm also a victim anyway. Yes, so the grains, okay, it can be processed in the form of flour or dough. So whichever form you use maize or corn for, I'm talking about corn dough, KK, banku, porridge, millet or sorghum can equally also be used for these, for your kenke, for your banku, for your porridges. And so we need to diversify our meals in terms of these grains.
Yeah.
We need to exploit the other grains because they play the same role because they're in the same family. And so if your corn can be used for banku, exactly the millet or the sorghum can equally be used for the banku, but which their nutritive content are higher compared to even the corn.
Right.
And because the corn or the maize is widely known, it's widely produced, it's in abundance. And so we go in for that, leaving the other grains.
So what about fonio?
Fonio, yeah, it's also a grain, but I don't think it's popular in Ghana.
But it's from the north, right?
Actually, it's becoming a little more popular than in the past.
Yes,
'Cause
but it's not in the southern
Yeah,
parts
it's not
of
in
the
the southern
country.
parts, yeah.
That's why I earlier said that most of them are found in the northern region. And so it's about time we try to patronize them, transport them down here, because we're going there for it is a problem. And so if the government can help transport it down here, it would help a lot of us here, because most of the population are in the central part of the country. And so transportation is very important, affordability and availability, that's the word. So if the grain is not available, you can't blame me for not eating it.
Yeah.
So we need to make
It's
them
just not there.
Exactly, exactly. So we need to make them available so that majority of the population can enjoy the nutritive content of
Is
them.
there any benefit to doing combinations of grains in terms of eating?
Yes, there is, and that brings in mind Tom Brown. Yes, or mixed cereal, mixed grains. Sorry.
Wait, hold on. Tom Brown is a mix of.
Yes, Tom Brown is a mix of that legumes and grains. So we have in corn, we have in rice, we have in wheat, we have in millet, we have in gram.
I just drink it. I don't even know.
Interesting. Yes. So that is one of the way we can combine these cereals, because each of them has the level of which the nutrients are in. Despite they're all rich in minerals, rich in vitamins, and the fiber content, it varies in terms of the amount found in each. And so when you mix them, they complement each other. So if magnesium is higher a little bit in millet, but protein is higher in sorghum, you combine, then you have that balance of the nutrients in there. And then that also helps, it brings a different taste as well. Yeah, so you don't really have to do this kind of monotony taste where people get fed up. I'm fed up with the corn or the maize or the taste.
Like I get fed up with rice.
You get it. So when you have your
You give
sorghum,
me
your
rice
millet,
morning, afternoon, evening, I'll eat every
I don't
day.
understand
No,
people
I'm-
who,
I'm-
like, I don't understand people who don't,
Yeah,
I
then you
can't.
never get me,
I
because
can't.
I'm just a rice person.
I totally
Yeah.
cannot do
interesting.
Like, I can stay
Interesting.
away from rice a whole month. Like,
Really?
I don't like
Yeah,
rice.
because there are other foods, other
Yeah.
meals that you
No,
can
I
equally
live by
explore.
rice.
I think I should go and live in the north.
I live by rice.
No,
Seems like
No,
the
but-
north has all the nice things.
Yeah, but, no, but
Yeah.
you see, I think that the conversation about making our ecosystem, the food
Accessible.
network,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
accessible in such a way that it's not complicated and difficult and expensive for food to move from
From
point A
here
to
to
point
here.
B. I
Exactly.
think it's very important for us to have that so
Exactly.
that we can then everybody can enjoy nutritious meals regardless
Exactly.
of where you live.
Exactly,
You know.
and affordable as it should
yeah.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so do we lose any value in nutrition if we apply heat to grains? You know, I know proteins,
Yeah.
you can denature the structure of
Yeah,
a protein, and
yeah.
so sometimes you can lose value
Yeah.
in protein. But what about grains?
Yes. So it boils down to the degree of the temperature being applied. However, the nutrients found in grains, because of the protective layer, that is the fibrous, fibrous nature, it's very hard for some of these nutrients to be denatured so easily, unless they are being stripped off. If you strip off the fiber, then you expose or you make these nutrients as you expose them, or you make them very easily to be accessed or easily to be damaged. I don't know if you get my point. So you know we have roasted corn, we have roasted millets. Yes, the nutrients are still intact in there, but it depends on the temperature. If they're exposed to higher temperatures, of course they'll be getting to a point where they'll get burnt, and a burnt food always don't have any nutritive content in them. And so if you have a roasted corn that is very burnt, or the processing which is being used, the temperature is very high. Of course, it denatures most of the nutritive content. So we need to be very careful about it.
I'm asking this question because there are people who are watching us who love kanzo. So I have to ask the question.
Yes,
Some people love kanzo. It's
Exactly.
like the plain rice is there. That's not the one they are fighting for. They are fighting for the one that is bent underneath. I'm like, why?
No, so I think you should ask the question, well, is there any nutritional value in kanzo?
There is no nutritional value in kanzo. Like, I can actually beat my chest on that. But there is a big but. The kanzo should be brown, not black.
Right.
The moment it gets blackened,
then
it's a problem.
then it's useless. But if the kanzo is brown, you still have some little
So
of
it's
the
like
nutrients.
acid is trying to bend.
Exactly, or
the
whitish,
fats.
brown,
Yeah.
then we are safe.
But I have one question. So as a dietitian, obviously you deal with different sorts of diets, and then every day a new diet erupts. If it's not the vegan diet, it's that diet, it's this diet. Like there are so many diets these days. So is there a possibility, or are there diets that are just basically grain and what, cereals?
Yes, especially especially when we go to vegetarians, the vegans, because they are mostly focusing on plants. And these grains are plant-based. And so if you are vegetarian, you don't necessarily have to only feed on vegetables, because you need some amount of complex carbohydrate found in these grains to be able to supply your body with the energy that the body needs for other body functions. So mostly the vegans utilize these grains. However, if you are not a vegan or you're not a vegetarian, we equally have to explore these grains as well. Yes, so
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, great conversation. How do people find out more from you if they want to reach out to you? Social media?
Yeah, so I'm on all social media handles, on YouTube, Instagram, as Opulent Dietitian. And so if you just search Opulent Dietitian, you'll get in touch. Just the DM will do, and then take it from there.
I like it. I like it. Well, thank you very much for sharing with us. I'm sure we'll have more conversations as we get into Heritage Month and we talk about Ghanaian.
Thanks for having me.